Officials are scrambling to determine how Auckland's massive rail project will cope after the parent firm of one of its contractors collapsed. RCR Infrastructure New Zealand was jointly awarded one of 7 contracts for the $3.4 billion City Rail link 6 weeks ago. But last night, its Australian parent company, RCR Tomlinson, went into administration. Annika Smith has more.
News of the collapse of the Perth-based company has shocked Australia's construction industry as administrators work on salvaging viable parts of the business. ABC Perth correspondent Catherine Diss says it affects the company's 3,400-strong workforce, while hundreds of subcontractors working at sites around Australia have been left in limbo.
A subcontractor I spoke to this morning who's working on one of their northwest projects, so in Western Australia's northwest on a lithium project, has told me that they're entering a meeting to try and figure out where to go to from here, so to speak. They did all the civil contracting work on that project, but my understanding is they haven't yet been paid.
Along with the Auckland City Rail link, the company lists its current projects as the Melbourne Underground Rail Loop upgrade, property maintenance for big public hospitals in Melbourne, and a capital works program for Melbourne's water and sewerage system. Catherine Diss says its problems began when it became involved in solar farms across Western Australia, Queensland and Victoria.
Only most recently did they enter the space into solar contracting, so they shifted away, I suppose, from their main core business of mining and resources sort of contracts and moved into the solar farm space, and that's where it appears they've come a bit undone.
Across the ditch, it's unknown just how far the damage will spread, but urgent talks are underway today between City Rail Link, RCR, Opus and the administrator. The company's New Zealand arm is still trading and work on the City Rail Link continues. In an interview with RNZ yesterday, head of City Rail Link Sean Sweeney raised RCR Tomlinson as the front-runner for the railway contract and didn't flag any concern over its finances. But today he said he's been questioning its chief executive for weeks after the company stopped trading in Australia.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing, and on a project the size of City Rail Link, we are going to hit the odd speed bump. Naturally, looking back, you could say, with what we now know, would we have done the same thing? That's a good question, but it doesn't change what we've got to deal with right now.
Mr Sweeney, who was meeting with the receivers this afternoon, says RCR is currently doing design work for the rail project, but its future with City Rail Link is not clear. Paul Miller is chair of the public transport lobby group New Zealand Transport 2050. He says it's a worrying development.
I was pretty disappointed, but it's unfortunately part of the industry at the moment in both countries. There's potential risk impacting the project itself. They did mention, of course, that the New Zealand business unit was separate. It's hard to know when they say it's separate, is it actually a profitable business unit? Infrastructure
New Zealand Chief Executive Stephen Selwood says it will likely have minimal impact on the project.
The New Zealand arm of RCR has been a viable company, and provided all parties operating on a business as usual basis, I see no reason why this couldn't be successfully transitioned either to a new owner or operated through under administration.
Aucklanders say any delay on the major project would be annoying, but it's nothing they're not already living with.
I think as the population grows in Auckland, more and more needs to be done. When there's delays for transport, it's really inconvenient and it costs taxpayers and ratepayers a lot of money.
They ripped up half of Auckland CBD. They'll have to get someone else in to do it. It'll cause delays. But the end result at that point when it's open will be great, and then it'll be the next disruption.
For now, the impact of this disruption is not clear, but work continues to get the country's biggest project running by 2024. The Minister for Transport Phil Twyford and Auckland Mayor Phil Goff say they're keeping a close eye on the situation, but both refuse to be interviewed or appear on Checkpoint tonight. Mo te hōtaka o te ahiahi nei, ko Annika Smith aho.